Nini everyone, welcome back to Witchy Words with Zabora. I'm your host, Zabora. So today's witchy word is going to be Wicca and Witchcraft because they're kind of related and I'd like to discuss that. My original plan was actually to use these witchy words as a way to help with my lessons and stuff. When I would say a word that maybe you guys wouldn't understand, like Cowan or polytheist or pantheist or polytheism or something like that. The whole plan was that I would be able to discuss the terms and put these videos up before I do my lessons, and then I forgot. So we're just going to continue on, and I'm going to do these damn witchy words whenever the fuck I feel like it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and continue. So, Wicca and Witchcraft. Now, I say that the terms are related because they are. In 1950, when Gardner started his religion, he called it Witchcraft. He did not call it Wicca. In fact, he said, "We are the Wicca," with one C, in reference to the people who were in witchcraft with him. So he called his people the Wicca, and I think it was only like 2 or 3 times that he did it because he identified as a witch. His religion was witchcraft. So the two, Wicca and witchcraft, they kind of mean the same thing, almost. The word witch itself evolved from Wicca, which is male witch with one C, and Wiccy, which is one C as well, but it's spelled with an E instead of a A. And that was the female witch. So, Wicca and witchcraft are very closely linked through etymology, their origins and stuff like that. I think it's Anglo-Saxon, right? It comes from the British Isles. Please correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So, witchcraft itself has now become a religion at this point, as well as a practice. Because I myself identify as a witch. I practice witchcraft. But I'm not a Wiccan. So, all Wiccans are witches, but not all witches are Wiccans. That's the best way that I could explain that. So, if you happen to identify as a Wiccan and you don't perform magic, then you're not a Wiccan. You must perform magic. You must cast circle in order to honor your Sabbats, raise spell work, general meditations. You can raise circle before you sleep. And if you're not doing those things, if you're not being an energy manipulator, then you're not a Wiccan. It's okay to be a pagan and believe in a god and a goddess. It's totally fine. It's okay to honor the wheel of the year. Totally fine. But you're not a Wiccan. You are practicing a form of paganism, but you're not a Wiccan, because to be a Wiccan, you have to use witchcraft. My opinion, of course. I know that there are some of those people out there who identify as Wiccans and don't use magic, so it's fine. But in my opinion, to be a Wiccan, you are a witch. And if you are not a witch, then you are not a Wiccan. So, and that's just based off of language, so, my opinion. The other thing would be, we as English-speaking people, and I assume you speak somewhat of English because you're understanding me, and I speak English, we use the word witch to identify a magical practitioner. Wiccan Mohan, though, he's Hispanic, so he may say bruja or brujo, because that's a Hispanic word for witch. Those that practice hoodoo, like myself, or a hoodoo-like craft, we're hoodooist, because we practiced a certain specific type of magic. So we have different labels and different names, and we mean the same thing, so sometimes these things can get confusing. Modern times, we have kind of stepped away from using witchcraft as a religious term. Because, like I said, there are more witches out there that are not Wiccans. And that term has been replaced with Wicca. Cool. So when we're referring to the specific religion, we're talking about Wicca. When we're referring to specific acts of energy manipulation, we're talking about witchcraft. But the two are interchangeable, so it can get confusing. I personally, I'm one for clarity, and understanding. So when someone says, "Oh, I practice witchcraft," it's like, "Oh, okay. Could you elaborate a little bit more?" And if they start talking about like the reed or something like that, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Now I understand you practice a form of Wicca." And please understand that there are other witchcrafts out there. So yeah, that's kind of my little Wicca witchcraft video. I hope it's been enlightening. And yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. Synapte.